Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Techie Code Buddy. I hope you all are doing extremely well and your Infosys exam preparation is also going well. Well, as we all know that Infosys exam is approaching and you guys were requesting me to make some videos regarding verbal ability in which I should include the reading comprehension and MCQs from spot the error, from rearranging the sentences, sentence formation, etc. Right? So in this video, we are going to see the same. And if you like this video, if you like the content, then please do subscribe the channel and share with it your friends as well. Let's start with the session today. So all the questions will be from verbal ability only. So the very first question is from spotting the error. Okay. So this is the statement or this is the sentence. Here are four parts in which you have to identify in which part the error is, and then I will tell you that how you can improve the error. So not only finding the error, but I will tell you that what should be the right statement. Okay. So the very first part is not only the bandits robbed the traveler and his purse, but also bounded him grievously. So here bandit means nothing but dacoits or gangster, right? So not only the bandits robbed the traveler and his purse. The error is in first part because this statement should not start with not only the bandits, right? It should start with the subject, and here the subject is the bandits. The bandits not only robbed the traveler and his purse, but also bounded him grievously. Whom? Here the troubler, right? So the bandits or the dacoits not only robbed the troubler and his purse but also bounded him. So here the error in this A part, so we will mark the error. And what's the error, how we can correct, I have done. Okay, so let's move on to the next. The next is no less than 20 persons were killed in the air crash and or no error, right? So here the error in this first part only. And what's the error? This persons is not grammatically correct. If we are using the plural form of person, so it will be converted to people, right? It would be converted to people, not persons. Persons is not grammatically correct. So the error in this A part, A will be the correct option, right? Let's move on to the next question. The next question is again spotting the error. So here are parts of the sentences. The famous Dr. Chandra is only dentist in our village or no error. So again, the error is in B part. And what's the error? Here we are talking about only one person, right? Only one person is there. The famous Dr. Chandra is the only dentist, right, in our village. So it should be is the only dentist. Is the only dentist. So if we are targeting or if we are specifying someone who is the only one, so we have to use the before only, right? So the error is in B part. Let's move on to the next. So the next is this town is not very well known and there is not much to see. So a few tourists come here or no error. So the error here is in this part, C part, right? So a few tourists. See, the error is a few. It's a few means some, right? Suppose there are 10 people and I'm saying a few people. So I'm referring like 5 to 6 people, right? This is what a few means. But here, as we are saying that this town is not very well famous and here is not much to see. So it's kind of no one will come here to see the things, or no one, or maybe only one or two person, right? So it should be few, not a few. It should be few. So this town is not very well famous or very well known and there is not much to see. So few tourists come here, like ikka dukka, only one or two or no one, right? A few means at least some people, right? Out of 10, 5 to 6. But few means only one or two. Okay. Let's move on to the next. So the next is read the following and choose the best summary. Okay. In the era of technology where information is abundant, critical thinking becomes a paramount skill. The ability to analyze, evaluate, and synthesize information is crucial for making informed decision in various aspects of life. So, conclusively, we are saying that this is the era of technology, and here the critical thinking is a paramount skill. The critical thinking is the must-have skill, right? So, like conclusively, we are saying this. Let's have a look on to option. Technology has made critical thinking obsolete. No, critical thinking is essential in the age of information and technology. So yes, it can be the answer. So let's mark it, right? Let's mark it. Let's move on to the next option. Abundant information has diminished the importance of critical thinking. No, here we are talking about the critical thinking has the uh, higher scope these days, right? Not diminishing. So it cannot be our answer. The era of technology has limited the need for critical thinking. No, no, no. It has arises the era of critical thinking. The era of technology has boosted the need of critical thinking. So option number B is the only right option among these four. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is rearrange the following sentences. Okay. So see, whenever you have to rearrange the sentences, so always remember that first of all uh, you should have your eyes on the subject, right? Once you have find the subject, or once you have finding the initiative, the initial line, then you have to try to connect the things, then you have to try to connect the notes, that how you can form a particular meaningful paragraph or particular meaningful sentence, right? So here if we see that the first is he decided to pursue his passion for painting. Who decided? There must be someone, right? So it cannot be the first statement as of now. Let's take it as a middle of the statement. Okay. After completing his engineering degree, John felt unfulfilled. So here we have find out that okay, John can be the subject here, because here we are talking about someone. Okay. So maybe it can be our first statement, but wait, let's read further. John enrolled in an art school to enhance his skills. His painting soon gained recognition in local galleries. So if we see that here the initiation can start from here. After completing his engineering degree, John felt unfulfilled, right? Then when he was feeling unfulfilled, so he decided he has the passion for art, so he decided to enhance his skills, so he took the admission in art school, right? So John enrolled in an art school, so it can be the second statement. So enhances is just a minute. After completing his engineering degree, John felt unfulfilled. He decided to pursue his passion for painting. Okay, so John has a passion for painting, so he decided to pursue his passion for painting. So for for this decision, he have to take some action. So as an action, what he did, he enrolled in an art school, right? He enrolled in an art school. As a result, what happened, his pictures or his paintings will be famous or will be recognized in local galleries. So it is the result. So first is subject and his decision. Then for his decision, what actions he took. So he took the admission in an art school. Then as a result, what happened, his paintings were well famous in local galleries. So 2, 1, 3, 4 will be the right option for this. Let's move on to the next parajumble. So here in this parajumble, this statement and this statement, or we can say this sentence and this sentence, first and last sentence are fixed, and we have to rearrange these sentences so that we can form a meaningful paragraph. Okay. So let again here the best part is that we have the initiation, we have the initial statement, so we can try to collect the notes to make a meaningful paragraph, right? So a man who was living alone always had two plates on the dinner table. Okay, so here we are talking about a man who is living alone, and he always used to have two plates on his dinner table. Okay, one evening when he sat down to dine, the dog rushed into the room. That means that man and his dog, there are two persons, right? So maybe it cannot be the second statement, because directly we are not connecting with the first statement, right? So it cannot be the first state, it cannot be the second statement after this, right? Then he used to give the dog a piece of meat from his plate. Maybe it can be the second, but let's have a look further. One plate was for him and the other was for his dog. So it is directly connecting. How? A man had a man who was living alone always had two plates on the dinner table. So here we are specifying two plates on the dinner table. Now one for him and another one for his dog. So here we are directly connecting the next node, right? So after this fixed statement, what we have for the first, we have this R statement, right? Now, for saving time, you have to look for the option elimination technique. You have to look for the option that, okay, I have find out that the first statement would be R. Now, what are the options available? So if we see that this will be eliminated, this will be eliminated, and we have to check for these two, right? Now, we can directly do so, right? RPSQ is the proper formation, RPSQ. So we have, okay, one plate was for him and the other was for his dog. One evening when he sat down to dine, the dog rushed into the room. Maybe it can be the next, but after that, and dropped a piece of cheese into his plate and another piece of cheese into his master's plate. Thus the dog showed gratitude of his uh, master. Okay, so let's try to sum up all. A man who was living alone always had two plates on the dinner table. Then one plate was for him and the other was for his dog. Right? Now, he used to give the dog a piece of meat from his plate, because at last what we are doing, we are conclusively telling that the dog showed gratitude of his master. So if we take this option, so here in this option we are not anywhere specifying that what was the actual gratitude of the master. But if we take this option as the answer, that one plate was for him and the other was for his dog, he used to give the dog a piece of meat from his plate. Master used to give a piece of meat from his plate to the dog's plate, right? That was the actual gratitude, right? And one evening when he sat down to dine, the dog rushed and the dog gave a plate, gave a cheese, uh, piece of cheese to the master, and he was showing the gratitude. So this is what the actual formation is. So R Q P S will be the right answer. If we take this option, so the thing that the gratitude is missing out, right? First, we need to tell that that was the gratitude, and then we need to tell that this is how the dog showed the gratitude to the master. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next parajumble. Okay, so the next is, this is fixed. Obesity is one of the major reason for hypertension. Obesity is nothing but fat, right? So obesity is one of the major reasons for hypertension. So the next statement would would be connected to hypertension, because here we are talking about hypertension, right? So WHO, this is not who, it is WHO, World Health Organization, right? So WHO says 1 in 3 adults suffers from hypertension. So it can be the next statement, but let's read further. Maybe we can find something better, right? So obesity is one of the major reasons for hypertension. This health issue is about 5 times more common in obese people than those who are lean. It can be the next one, because here we are talking about hypertension and directly we are connecting it. This health issue is about 5 times more common in obese people than those who are lean. Which issue? Which health issue? Hypertension, right? So it can be the second statement. Okay. Now, understand that the intra-abdominal fat significantly affects the metabolism, as this fat may cause hypertension with increased blood lipid levels, right? So these two will come together only because they are kind of some reason and what's the action, right? So they will always come together. So CD will always come together. Okay, thus obese people must take appropriate measures to control or reduce their weight. So if we see that these three lines are kind of action and conclusion, right? Or we can say action and results. So if we say that CD will come together, okay, so the answer will be either 3 or either 4. Sorry, it should be correct, right? So answer would be either ABCD or BACD. So let's again try to format these sentences. Obesity is one of the major reasons for hypertension. This health issue is about 5 times more common in obese people. Which health issue? We have to directly connect with hypertension, right? So it should be B, right? After this statement, the next should be B. So we would start from here. So BACD will be the correct sentence formation. Now let's have a read on it. Obesity is one of the major reasons for hypertension. This health issue is about 5 times more common in obese people than those who are lean. Okay, now WHO says 1 in 3 adults suffer from hypertension. So out of 3, right, 1 is there who is suffering from hypertension. You have to understand that the intra-abdominal fat significantly affect metabolism, as this fat may cause hypertension with increased blood lipid. Thus, obese people must take appropriate measures to control or reduce their weight. So this is what the formation is here. BACD will be the right. First of all, you have to look for the subject line, then you have to try to connect with the previous statements, and you have to look for action and results, right? This is how you can make the sentence formation, but practice is must, right? Let's move on to the next. Here we need to correct the sentences of these underlined words. Because of his mastery in yoga, his yoga academy have grown in popularity. See, because of his mastery in yoga. So he is mastered in yoga, or yoga is his skills. Yoga, if it is his skill, so must be in present, right? So how, like, we have to live in present. That's why it will be like, because of his mastery in yoga, his yoga academy is growing in popularity. Something is growing in popularity because you are putting efforts right now, right? So is growing will be the correct answer, not have grown. Let's move on to the next. Maria's fans were all shocked at her failure in the Olympics. So Maria's fans were all shocked at her failure in Olympics. So Maria has failed in Olympics, and at her failure all were shocked. So it is absolutely correct. There is no any change requirement. There is no any correction requirement. None of the above will be the correct answer. Let's move on to the next question. So it is closest set, closest test, like fill in the blanks kind of. It is kind of a paragraph, and here are some fill ups, and you have to fill 1 2 3 4 5, right? Accordingly, what are the options given? Let's have a look. Today, doing business is not easy for businessmen, and this question, like this paragraph, recently asked in Accenture 2025 questions as well, right? So today, doing business is not for businessmen, as they are not used to competition. In the past, they were selling whatever produced and their desired prices. So we have to fill up this blank with these, right? With these options available. So today, doing business is not easy for businessmen, as they are not used competition. In the past, they were selling whatever. So whatever he produced, no, he cannot come, because here we are talking about businessmen. It is plural. So here singular subject cannot come. It should be plural, right? If we say that in the past they were selling whatever them produced, them is kind of object, not subject, right? So it will not come. It produced, it is useful for non-living things, so it cannot come, so they will come here. And it is like absolutely clear that they will come. If your English is kind of okay even, you can easily identify that they will come, okay? But Philip, the competition has increased over the years. So here we are talking about, but as the competition has increased over the years, right? Here we are mm, continuing the statements, we are continuing the sentences. So here, if we see that, but as the competition is increasing over the years, so what happening? Customers started to and choose. Customers started to pick and choose because we have because the competition has arises, so we have a lot of choices, so we have to pick and choose, right? We have to pick and choose. Prior the competition was less, but today the competition is more, and the we can say, and the resources are more than enough, so we have to pick and choose, right? So pick will be the third blank. Pick will be the third blank. Okay, then imports have become what? Imports have become costly, not easily, hardly. It's just kind of, imports have become easily, right? Easily available. Imports have, just a minute here. Imports has become easily available. Costly available. If imports will available costly, why will anyone get it, right? Or then all the options are like not fit in this context, so easily will be the correct answer. And if we see here that the next is uh, and that too at cheaper. What cheaper? Price is simple. We buy something for the prices na, right? So prices will be the fifth option. Prices will be the fifth option. I hope it is clear to you. Let's move on to the next. So we have to fill up these blanks with a suitable article. She was my teacher at Oxford University. So although Oxford University is very well famous, and we know that before famous things we have to use the, but always remember that before any famous sorry, before any famous universities, any famous college, or any famous mm, like what the word I should say, where all the historical things uh, kept out collectively. I'm not getting the exact name, but for that also uh, is famous. We not use the, because they have the capability to prove yourself in their name itself. So we don't have to use the, right, before the famous universities, before the famous colleges. So directly, no article is required here. She was my teacher at Oxford University. Simple. Let's move on to the next. Maria went to Italy to attend a marriage. Again, Italy is very well famous place, right? But we don't have to specify with the or what, right? We know that it is a place, it is a location, right? We don't used to have any article here. Again, no article required here. Why I have taken these? Because you should know that this is not compulsory that you have to fill up with the article if it is asking for article. There can be certain cases that no article is required there, right? So don't use that. Asia is the largest continent in the world. Again, before any continent, we don't use any article, right? Continent is continent. It is enough only. No any article required here. So no the, no a is none of the above will the correct answer. The Asia is the largest. No. Asia is a continent, and before any continent, we don't use any article. Simple. Let's move on to the kind of reordering the words, right? Entered a bear at night his house in search of food. So again, the rule is simple. First of all, the subject. So here the subject is a bear, right? So a bear entered, then the verb entered. Okay, 2 1. So the answer must be 3. Okay, because of the option elimination technique, we can directly find out that the option will be 3. Okay, so the entered, sorry, a bear entered his house at night in search of food. Yeah, that's fine. Let's move on to the next. In a he lived wooden house. Okay, so here the subject is he. He lived in a wooden house. It is absolutely clear, right? So he lived in a wooden house. 213, right? 213. So option number 2 will be the correct answer. Wooden house surrounded on all sides by snow covered peaks. So it is clear. Okay, let's move on to reading comprehension now. Okay. So the very first trick to like find out the reading comprehension answer so quickly is you have to just skim the passage. Just you have to go through with the passage, not so in depth. You just have to take a glimpse of it, right? That what it is all about. Then most probably out of five you will find two or one or two questions so easily. Then if it is asking, and also, apart from it, you have to look in depth for starting three lines and the ending three lines if the paragraph is quite bigger, right? But here only three and four lines are there, so we can easily read it in depth for the in the very first go. Okay. So Peter did not want to shoot the elephant. He watched him pulling branches with his trunk and eating the fresh green leaves with the preoccupied grandmotherly air. So it is a very well famous, right? It is a very well famous phrase, preoccupied grandmotherly air, which means that one who is unconcerned, pretending to be busy, and has the nature of superiority, right? Has the attitude of showing superiority. What it is mean, right? It is what like it is a very well famous phrase for denoting one who is unconcerned, who has the attitude of superiority, and the next is who is pretending to be busy. So we use this phrase there, right? That an elephant has. It seemed to him that it would be murder to shoot him, right? The Peter is thinking that if he will shoot him, so it would be a murder. He never shot an elephant and never wanted to, as it feels worse to kill large animals. Besides, he had to consider the elephant's owner, but he had not got to act quickly. He turned to some tribe, some people who had been there, and asked about the elephant. They said the elephant will not harm you if you leave him alone, but he might charge if you went too close to him. Okay. So the very first question is, what does the phrase preoccupied grandmotherly air signify? Okay, so in the paragraph itself, I have disclosed the meaning of it. One who is unconcerned, one who is pretending to be busy and has the nature of superiority, right? So the answer is one who is unconcerned means calm. One who is pretending to be busy, that means dignified and affectionate outlook will be the correct answer, right? Pretending to be busy, it's not just the answer, right? There are there are three things that you have to include. One who is unconcerned, that means calm. One who is pretending to be busy, and one who has the superiority in his nature, that is what it means. So option number B will be the correct answer. The next is, from the passage it seems that Peter was. So from the passage we know that Peter didn't kill the animal because he was thinking that it would be a murder, or then he asked to the people who were surrounded there that what I should do, right? Then they told. So it's kind of Peter was so innocent, Peter was so kind and considerate. So option number one will be the answer. The third is, the Peter did not want to shoot the elephant because his gun was not suitable for shooting large animals. So in the paragraph we haven't talked about gun, right? He was afraid of it. No, we haven't looked any line that are showing the fear of Peter. No. So he did not want to kill an animal which was not harming anyone. That was not the thought of Peter, right? He had not shot a large animal before. Yes, this line is clearly written in the paragraph. If we see here that it feels worse to kill large animals, right? He never shot an elephant and never wanted to, as it feels worse to kill large animals. He was not having any experience of killing the large animal, or he was not having the experience of killing elephant. Okay, so option number four will be the correct answer. The next is, what did the tribe people tell Peter? So they tell that if you will leave it alone, so it will not harm you, but if it can charge you if you will close to him, right? So this line is clearly written in the next this line, here, right? It is clearly written that. So some question you will find that they are easily getting out of the answer. The next is, what was the elephant doing? So elephant was pulling branches and eating leaves, right? So this is written here, that pulling branches with his trunk and eating the fresh green leaves. So yes, we have done with all the 25 questions, right? In this session we have discussed 25 questions, and all these questions, like among all these 25 questions, around 15 to 16 questions were actually asked in Infosys, and some questions I have taken for practice. And I will post this PPT in my Telegram group, so do join the Telegram community, and make sure to stay tuned on the channel for more updates regarding Accenture, regarding Infosys, Capgemini, Cognizant, and all the service-based companies. On our channel, the content is provided on a daily basis. So yeah, let's meet in the next video. Till then, bye and take care.